What's going on, everybody? And I hope you're enjoying your Tuesday early afternoon. This is NYG Jeffy T85 here. And I'm going to talk about, first, I'm going to talk about a couple of news and notes about the New York Mets. And I'm going to talk about the big story. And that, of course, is about Shohei Ohtani. And potentially being offered a monster deal in the offseason in 2023 by the New York Mets. First, let me start out with some of the news and notes. Now, obviously, the New York Mets, they already have their uniforms and they're already on the way traveling down towards spring training. Spring training doesn't begin for at least another 15 days, though, but the equipment trucks are on their way. They departed Citi Field back yesterday, and they won't get there until the middle of February. And with 15 days away, that's when spring training is officially going to begin. And, of course, some of the players are already down there at Port St. Lucie for the New York Mets, already beginning their off-season training for the team going forward. It's very interesting to see which players are those ones that are down there and, what kind of training they're doing right now what kind of activities and stuff they're doing over there at spring training, just trying to get their warm-ups, their reps in and everything. But overall, it's just a little small caveat, but still, I like hearing about certain players already at spring training, down there, beginning their workouts, getting some of their timing in, beginning some of their, defense, trying to up their defense going forward. So we'll have to wait to see what's going to happen. Also, the New York Mets have officially announced the contract extension for second baseman, third baseman, outfielder Jeff McNeil. And he will be having a press conference with the New York Mets tomorrow at Citi Field with himself, General Manager Billy Epler, I believe head coach or manager Buck Showalter will be there, and I think that owner Steve Cohen will also be there. So he's officially signed his 4-year, $50 million deal. Potential for a 5th-year option that can knock the deal up to about $62 million. So Jeff McNeil's contract is done, and he is all set and ready to go. So just had to get that out there. Jeff McNeil is officially now part of the New York Mets. No other language or nothing else to try to convolute that type of deal. So Jeff McNeil is officially part of the fold. Now, the New York Mets are also expected right now to have an undefined DH role heading into this season. What does that mean? They're going to go by a platoon. And right now, as we speak, the headliners for the DH position right now look like to be left-handed hitter Daniel Vogelbach and right-handed hitter Darin. They look to be the guys right now that are going to be part of that DH rotation going into the season. Do you trust either one of these guys to be the headliners at the DH position? I don't. But at the same time, it seems like that GM Billy Epler, he might not commit to the platoon of these two guys at their DH, but he's going to give it a shot at the beginning of the season. Remember, the team has a lot of good young players that they could potentially throw in there as a potential DH too. Maybe Francisco Alvarez, if he doesn't start out a catcher. If they want to roll with Omar Narvaez and Tomas Nido at catcher. You also brought back Michael Perez in free agency. You could also have Francisco Alvarez start off at DH to begin the season. You have Mark Vientos, the young kid coming up from the minor leagues. He could start out as a DH. You also got Brett Beatty. Eduardo Escobar could potentially be a DH. You also have Pete Alonso. If they want to give him a day off, they could play DH as well. So just to think about it, those two guys look to be the headliners for the DH position. I mean, Vogelbach actually posted a productive 8.829 OPS against left-handed pitching. Ruff struggled against the righties, though, with for the 4.813 OPS. So I don't mind if Vogelbach is part of the DH position. They did pick up his option. I don't mind if Vogelbach's there. I think he's a decent hitter. He's a pretty solid hitter. Not great, but he's a solid hitter overall. So we'll have to wait and see. I mean, overall, Ruff's actually been a very good hitter in his career. Against left-handed pitching. He's got a .891 against left-handers, so we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen. But there's a lot of options they can go to. Also, don't forget, they did sign Tommy Pham to a contract as well. Maybe Tommy Pham, if he's not playing in the outfield, as that fourth outfielder, he gets an opportunity at DH. You could put Quintana there. You could put Starling Marte there. You have a lot of different options that you could throw out that DH position. I would not be shocked if Francisco Alvarez is the guy that potentially gets a lot of that DH position going into spring training. Now, I'm going to get to the big news. It seems that Steve Cohen is going to go out next year in free agency, and he is going to offer an insane deal to Shohei Ohtani in free agency next year. It's been no secret the New York Mets have long been interested in Ohtani, the two-way player who could pitch and can hit. Now, already the New York Mets have $335 million committed to their 2023 payroll. The next closest is the Yankees at $267 million. What kind of contract is going to take to pay a guy like Ohtani in the free agency? I mean, Ohtani's going to be 29 years old entering his free agent period. I mean, his teammate, right here. This is according to the New York Post. John Heyman. His teammate Mike Trout got a 12-year, $426.5 million deal. Ohtani's probably going to command at least around $500 million. Would you offer him a 10-year, $500 million deal? Would you offer him at least $500 million for Shohei Ohtani going into his 29 year? I don't know. The richest contract right now in sports in terms of an athlete is Patrick Mahomes, who's making 10-year, $450 million deal for the Kansas City Chiefs in the NFL. Would you think that Shohei Ohtani is worth a $500+ million deal? I don't know about that. Especially when the guy is 29 years old. Do you want to commit 10 years to this guy? Pay him a lot of money? He might be good right now, but I mean, he's going to be 30 years old soon. Is that a smart deal to commit to him that much? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what's going to happen either way. But right now, Steve Cohen seems like he's going to be going out there and he's going to be wanting to commit big-time dollars for Shohei Ohtani because it's been no secret the Mets have long had interest in Shohei Ohtani. And you know Ohtani, he's had doubts of maybe coming to the East Coast. Remember, he could have been a Yankee when he first came into the major leagues, but he said he would rather stay on the West Coast which is closer to his family. That's why he originally signed with the Los Angeles Angels a few years back. Would Ohtani be willing to take his chance in the New York market? I mean, it'd be a monster upgrade for the New York Mets. Not necessarily to have him in the pitching staff completely too, but throw him in that lineup. Put him in the outfield. Mark Canha's going to come off the books. So you can have Canha go, and you can put Ohtani in the outfield with Nimmo and Marte. Now you're cooking. But that's just a couple of news and notes I want to give you guys. If you're a Mets player, if you're Steve Cohen, would you offer Shohei Ohtani $500 million? Are you convinced about the DH role right now given to Daniel Vogelbach and Darin, or would you look to see if some of these younger players on the team, or would you still maybe look to upgrade the DH position in the offseason? What do you like to are you very happy to hear some of the players down in Port St. Lucie are getting their early workouts? Let me know in the comment section what you guys think. So make sure you smash that like button if you haven't already and sub up to NYGJeffyT85 for more news, updates, and chatter around the New York Mets. Thank you very much, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday afternoon. Take it easy, and as always, let's go New York Mets. As we all know, all you got to do is you got to believe in these boys from Queens.